Hello, YouTubers. Okay, so I got to send an update because we have a challenge going on this week. Have you been doing it? Have you? Because I got another check in the mail this week. This is like getting too easy. It was like a $200 rebate check from AT&T. Just had no idea that was coming and just received it. Actually, I got it last week, but it's been sitting on my desk and I just didn't even know what it was. And so I opened it yesterday. And I mean, at this point, like, cue to the previous video, I'll throw another little card up there. If you are not doing the challenge of like 90 seconds every morning and every evening, just completely focusing on, engrossed, eyes closed, and just like feeling what you want, then like you're crazy, right? Like, are we too busy for that? We are definitely not too busy. I'm telling you, like, I'm now up to $3,200, like this month or whatever it's been around a month or so. And just like, it just keeps on going. So if you didn't do that this morning, I don't know why. Set an alarm. Do whatever you gotta do. Make sure you can just like take 90 seconds and just go ahead and do it, right? Like twice a day. That's the challenge for one whole week straight. If you didn't do it since the beginning of the week, the challenge starts today. If you didn't do it this morning, the challenge starts tonight, starts tomorrow morning. Like, you got to do it for a whole week, and then hopefully you continue. But like, I want to see what you can create in 1 week's time. Anyway, I just want to start out the video with that. Actually, I have a different topic that I wanted to talk about today. I was talking last night to somebody about communication, and I wanted to share like just my thoughts on an automatic defensive response. I definitely had this, like, I don't know, when I started out in business and just getting coached. I don't think I was a bad student in the sense that I wasn't like, it wasn't like I was not taking people's feedback, but I was definitely sounding like I wasn't taking people's feedback. My reaction was to defend myself, even if I appreciated the feedback, even if I like understood why I was getting the feedback, liked it, whatever. I still always felt the need to like defend myself and explain why I was taking a certain type of action, right? Just explain my position, even if I was like, yeah, I'll do that next time, but here's why I was doing it. So sometimes though, we're taking that position and we genuinely don't like the feedback, whatever it is. Like, I think that most of the time it's because we have questions about the feedback and we don't know how to like actually respond with a question. So I wanted to talk about that to help us be better communicators. So let's say somebody's saying to you, hey, I really appreciate it when you do this thing differently, right? So maybe when you talk, maybe your spouse, relationship, whatever, is like, I really appreciate when you talk to me differently. I don't like it when you talk to me like that. I like it when you talk to me like this. And you automatically want to respond with like, yeah, well, I mean, the only reason why I do that is because when I come home and this, and this isn't done, it's really frustrating, But I don't think that's what we mean. I think what we mean to say is something that's more like, okay, well, how should I respond when like you're asking me questions and like I feel like I need to give you an answer, yet I need time to like cool down? Is it okay if I just like take 60 seconds then and then come back to the conversation? Right? Whatever it is. I'm just picking an example. But like, I think that those are the same two thoughts, but one we're explaining why, and the other one we're actually stopping, thinking about what we're saying, and responding in a form of a question and having like a dialogue. It's the same thing if the person was like a coach, right? Let's bring it back to business. So like if your coach says to you like, hey, I prefer you not to do a project this way, or, let's not do it that way. Let's go ahead and do it this way. Your natural response might be, well, the only reason why I was doing it that way was because so-and-so told me to do it that way in the first place, right? Does that sound familiar? That's like totally could have left our mouth at any point. As opposed to, okay, well, I'm just a little bit confused because you're telling me this, so-and-so is telling me this, and so when I get two differing pieces of feedback, what would you like me to do? It's the exact same thing. And honestly, it's probably more accurately what you're thinking, but you're not used to phrasing it in the form of a question. So I'm gonna try to catch yourself. Whenever you're like explaining why you did something, instead back up, just pause for a second. The person on the other end is gonna be fine. And just think about, how can I phrase this in a question? And maybe asking yourself that will give you a little bit more of like a specific action as opposed to just like, I don't know how to say what I want to say, right? How can I phrase this in a question? The person who's coaching you or communicating with you will feel so much more heard and will feel like they're having so much more of a dialogue that it's just so much of a better form of communication. So I wanted to pass that along. Good convo I had the other night and wanted to share. Obviously, again, 1 week challenge, just, throwing an extra reminder out there. I would really love to see some comments of some people who are like manifesting some unbelievable things in their life in a very short amount of time. And I can't wait for that. So everybody have an awesome night. We'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.